Hello everyone, my wife and I are the Mortons on the move and we travel full-time in our RV. Recently we had our bike stolen right off the carrier on the back of our RV. They were locked on with a heavy cable lock, but it was cut. Most frustratingly, we were inside the RV when it happened. Bike theft seems to be a very common problem and we feel that there is a need for a better lock. And that's why we've got this. This is the Nulock. It has a wire inside it so that if somebody tries to cut it, an alarm goes off. We're going to try this thing out for the next few days and let you know what we think, but we already love the idea. Just to let you know, this is not a paid review. New Vending did send us this to try it out and review it, and I tell you, it couldn't have come at a better time. We've been using this lock for a week now, and I feel like I can show you how it works. So let's first start out with the features of this lock. It's got a 31-inch long cable. The cable's about a 1/3 inch in diameter. It's got a heavy plastic sheath on it. The cable has a wire inside it so that if you try to cut it, this alarm is going to go off. On the front here, this circle is actually the alarm where the sound comes out of this unit. This is a button that you press once the cable is inserted. You insert the cable, press it in, it'll snap in. Press this button and the lock is going to lock and arm. You also have a little LED indicator here that gives you the status of the lock. The batteries are on the back. It takes 3 AAAs. There is a heavy silicone liner in there that helps keep this waterproof. It has an IP44 rating, which means that it's probably good in rain, but it wouldn't be good if you submerged this. If you try to open the battery compartment when the lock is armed, the alarm will go off. The only way to unlock this is using the app on your phone. It works with both Android and Apple devices. In addition to having an alarm functionality, if you attempt to cut the lock, you can also turn on a vibration functionality, which if it senses movement, if somebody tampers with the lock, the alarm will go off then as well. Let's get into the functionality of this lock. It works like most any other bike lock out there. You take the cable, wrap it around your bike, and insert it back into the lockbox end. I found it can be a little stiff. Press the cable release button and it'll insert nicely into the lock. Once you've got the cable wrapped around and inserted, you have to press the lock button on the front of the box. The lock sounds the 3 beeps there indicating that it is locked, and you'll hear a little electronic motor in there lock up the cable. At this point, you cannot press the cable release button anymore to get the cable out of the lock. The only way to unlock this is with the app, and you open it up on your phone and it's going to indicate that the lock is connected once you've added it to your profile. You need to add the lock and put in the password for the lock, and it comes with a factory password basically to pair the Bluetooth. This is a Bluetooth lock. You need to have the app, which is called SLB Lock. You also need to have Bluetooth on your phone. You add a new lock easily in the app, you put in the password, and you can change that later to whatever password you want so somebody else with the app can't unlock your lock. By pressing that lock button on the front of the lockbox, it enables the Bluetooth and starts to communicate with your phone. Your phone will indicate that it's connected with the lock, and you can then select the lock, and it'll give you the options that you can do with the lock from the app. The first and top button on the app is unlock. If I go ahead and press that, the lock beeps to let me know that it's unlocked, and the phone also says unlock successful on the screen. Now the cable release button is available to be pressed again. You press it and the cable will pop out and you can unlock your bike. So the app has a number of features as well. At the very top, when you connect to your lock, it gives you the power level. It will indicate how much percentage battery there is in the lock. And you need to keep an eye on that because if it gets too low, you won't be able to unlock with the batteries in there. And you'll have to put new batteries in before you can get the lock unlocked. Below that is the unlock button. That'll be grayed out once you've pressed it and the lock has unlocked successfully. Below that you'll find the auto unlock button, and this is kind of a neat feature. It works like a proximity key for a car. When your phone is within Bluetooth range, the lock will automatically unlock. The cable won't pop out. You'll have to press the button for that, but it will be unlocked. Below that is the vibration feature. If you turn that on, that is when the lock is sensitive to movement. I'll demonstrate that vibration functionality in a bit, and so you can hear the alarm. The notifications in the app is so that your phone will indicate that the lock is connected or disconnected even if the app isn't open, just like any other notification on your phone. And then below that you can change the password for the lock and change the name, which is convenient if you have multiple of these locks. You can name them and figure out which one is which. Maybe it'd be a good idea to put a sticker on the lock or something so you know physically which lock goes to which lock on your phone. So I've got the vibration feature turned on, and you'll see that if I tamper with it, if I kind of like shake it, it sounds a 1 second just beep to let you know that, hey, I'm here, don't mess with me. If you continue to tamper with it, within 5 seconds after that, the actual alarm will go off. The alarm is deafening. It's 110 decibels, and it only quits once your phone comes back within range. I had turned the Bluetooth off on the phone so that I could set the alarm off, but just turning the Bluetooth back on, once the phone reconnects to the lock, the alarm will quit. So what are our thoughts on this thing? Well, I think it's a really cool product. I think that it provides a much greater level of security than you get with most bike locks out there. I think that if this had been locking our bikes up a couple weeks ago and we had them stolen, it probably would have prevented it, at least alerted us to the intruder. The alarm is crazy loud and startling. If that had gone off when someone was trying to cut it, I think they would have turned tail and ran. It works really well too. I used it on both Android and Apple phones, and it just worked. It paired quickly. The Bluetooth comes on only once it has been inserted and the button has been pressed, but it doesn't take long for it to come on and be seen by the phone. The apps looked almost identical on both platforms and are readily available on the App Store and the Play Store under SLB Lock. I think the cable could be a little bit longer so you could lock two bikes together like we like to do, or if you have a really weird situation, a real big tree or something like that. But for most locking it up situations, locking it to our bike rack, locking it to the hitch in our truck, locking it to a normal bike rack, it's plenty long and it's plenty portable as well. The auto unlock feature, although cool for us, didn't really seem real practical because we're usually within range of our bike and it would just be unlocked all the time. But if you're taking your bike to work or something and going to be a longer range away from it, that could be a really neat feature because it just unlocks as you walk up to it. The vibration tamper feature is really great as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't work when you're nearby, so again, for us, with the bikes being right on the back of our RV and being within range, that feature doesn't really work, although you can turn the Bluetooth off on your phone, it thinks you're out of range, and then that feature will work. In our personal experience, you also want to make sure you turn that feature off if you have your bikes on the back of, say, an RV where you might be out of range and you're driving down the road, because the alarm may just go off when you're shaking it around on the bike rack going down the road. So the only way to open this lock is with your phone, and I thought, okay, well, what if I lose my phone? Well, I disconnected one phone and I brought a new phone on board that had not been paired with the lock, and I was able to pair with the lock, as long as you know the password for it, the password that you set, and unlock it with a completely different phone. So the app is a really small file. I think it's less than a megabyte to download, so you really could download it on anybody's phone, enter the password, and unlock it from any phone. Overall, we think this is a really great product and a really great addition to our gear. I definitely recommend it to anyone who owns a bike or really anything you want to lock up. I mean, that alarm will deter a lot of people from messing with your stuff. So there you go, the Nulock Smart Bike Lock. Take a look at the link in the description below for more information and to figure out where you can purchase this thing.